watching Fox 10 Phoenix now.
The search is on for suspects in a deadly stabbing attack of a Valley teenager.
Meanwhile, family and friends are mourning the loss of Jalen Reeves. A memorial for the 15-year-old Mountain Point High School athlete is set up near the stabbing scene. People who spoke to Fox 10 off camera described Reeves as a sweet kid and a promising athlete. The crime happened on Saturday right in the area of 40th Street and Chandler Boulevard. Police say there was some sort of confrontation between two groups of kids. That's when Reeves was stabbed. So far, no arrests have been made. If you have any information about this case, you are asked to call the Phoenix Police Department or Silent Witness, where you can remain anonymous. That telephone number, 480-WITNESS.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers are out to the families affected there. A shooting leaves a man in West Phoenix hospitalized. Police believe his neighbor may have been the person who pulled the trigger. The shooting was yesterday afternoon near 43rd Avenue and Bethany Home Road. Officers then worked for several hours to convince a suspect to leave the house. The neighbor was eventually taken into custody. The victim is expected to survive. It is not clear what led up to the shooting.
Half a dozen people are detained after a shooting along the US 60 over the weekend. The driver told police that someone was shooting from a car while heading down the highway. The vehicle exited right there at Mesa Drive and then kept driving north for more than 2 miles. That's when police found a car that matched the description and took 6 people into custody. Right now, we still don't have any details about why those individuals were firing a weapon from their car. No injuries were reported. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs is heading to the southern border this morning to make what her staff is calling a major announcement.
So the announcement coming in just a few hours from now, and we'll be covering it for you, of course. Governor Hobbs will meet with Border Patrol at the Nogales point of entry. It is being reported at this hour that the Arizona National Guard will be sent to border communities to help crack down on fentanyl smugglers. The Guard is also expected to set up a border coordination office. It's part of Operation Secure, which unveiled last December about the same time the Biden administration closed the Lukeville port of entry. Republican lawmakers now calling the governor's efforts too little, too late.
Tried everything we can to pass laws to enforce the federal laws that are not being enforced. Well, now they're saying, hey, we're going to enforce the federal laws. So it's, she's kind of irrelevant in a way. And quite frankly, the bill, the proposition we just passed at the ballot in a way is irrelevant because President Trump the federal government is actually going to enforce the law.
So the Proposition 314, also known as the Secure the Border Act, was passed on the ballot earlier this month. 63% of you Arizona voters voted in favor of Prop 314. It includes measures that the governor vetoed earlier this year. It will be following, of course, the governor's announcement. We'll have that for you later this morning, and we'll bring you the latest updates online as they are unveiled right here on Fox 10 News. An update this morning on the defamation lawsuit filed by Maricopa County Recorder Stephen Richer against Kari Lake.
That case has reportedly now been settled. The Washington Post reporting this morning that the settlement is done. It comes just ahead of a deadline that was set for this Friday for Lake to make a statement about emails purged by her campaign and who directed the move. The terms are confidential, but the paper says a text message from Richer says, quote, both sides are satisfied with the result. Richer filed that lawsuit last year, claiming that Kari Lake and an affiliated nonprofit group falsely accused him of contributing to her 2022 gubernatorial campaign loss.
This morning, the crackdown on homeless encampments is stretching from the inner city out to the suburbs.
Yeah, the Surprise City Council unanimously passing Ordinance 2024-30, which makes it unlawful to set up a homeless camp, wash in a public fountain, or use the bathroom in public in the Northwest Valley City. A U.S. Supreme Court ruling back in June allowing for the ordinance to pass. It follows the recent passing of Prop 312, which allows property owners to get a tax refund for money they've spent due to local governments failing to enforce laws against illegal camping.
This isn't necessarily just the end-all be-all, right? This is not the first thing we're going to be doing, but it does empower our law enforcement to take action after certain other things have been unsuccessful.
We're told a citation for a misdemeanor is the last option, and anyone unhoused who is approached by an officer will still have the option to accept resources instead of taking a ticket. A developing story, a man is seriously hurt in a skydiving accident. This happened in the West Valley.
It was yesterday morning at Buckeye Municipal Airport near the I-10 and Palo Verde Road. Fire crews say the skydiver's parachute collapsed about 20 to 40 feet above the ground. The man was rushed to the hospital. No details about his current condition or what may have caused his parachute to fail at this time.
Across Arizona now, 2 people are expected to be okay after a small plane crashes near Cordes Lake. This is pictures showing the Cessna 172 resting on its side right near the I-17 and Bloody Basin Road. The Yavapai County Sheriff's Office says the aircraft's passenger was the one who actually called 911 to report the crash. The caller said that the pilot had minor injuries and needed medical attention. Both were flown to a Valley hospital and are said to be in stable condition. The passenger indicated to deputies that the plane's engine failed. The FAA is now investigating. Alarming numbers from the Arizona Department of Public Safety showing a growing number of deadly crashes in our state.
Well, the troopers say it's seatbelts to blame here, and they are the key to prevention. So far this year, there have been, unfortunately, 275 deadly crashes on state highways and interstates. That's higher than the total number last year. The department says troopers are arriving at crash scenes. They're finding obvious signs that those involved were not wearing seatbelts.
Out of that, 100 of those fatalities were from folks that did not wear seatbelts. In other words, those are lives that could have been saved. Just remember to make sure you're belted in, your passengers are belted in, your kids are belted in. So if you have to come to a sudden stop and someone plows into you, you have a good chance of surviving that crash.
Gentle reminder there from the state there. There's also been an increase in distracted driving and driving without enough sleep.
7:33, there is a new travel trend involving those who work from home. A new report from Deloitte Holiday Travel Survey found that 49% of travelers with jobs are doing what they call laptop lugging, meaning people who plan to work at some point during their vacation. The report says this is a 15% increase from last year and covers almost all income levels and age groups.
A piece of fruit. This is kind of a wild story, and it's duct taped to like a piece of canvas. This is crazy. It has the art world laughing. The artwork comedian created by artist Mauricio Catalan. It's a yellow banana and a piece of silver duct tape stuck to a white wall. It now may fetch $1 million or more.
This has to be a joke.
And
is this like
at auction, I think
like
it began.
April 1st?
It began as a joke. I mean, a lot of people are saying, what is this? Some say it's funny, and others say it has sinister messages. Dirty minds at work, I guess. The work is on display until the November 20th sale. We'll see how much it actually fetches. And you know what would be, if somebody actually purchased it, how crazy would it be if their dog ate the banana?
Well, I just have a question. I would like to know who purchases this, because I'd like to talk to them about their spending habits.
It's the same people that have open wineries in Napa. It's like their hobby money. You know, it's probably some.
At least you're producing something.
It's one of those big billionaires that has, you know, a big money clip.
I don't know.
Right now, the demolition of Phoenix's most iconic mall is underway as wrecking crews begin tearing it down.
So Irene is live this morning. This is an $850 million redevelopment project, and it all begins today when those wrecking balls start moving in. Good morning, Irene.
Well, good morning, guys. Exactly. No, it's a bittersweet day. I feel like we hear about a lot of these malls, they go under, but then they're going to be redeveloped into other things that can be useful for the city. So we're going to talk with Councilwoman Ann O'Brien here this morning and developer Steve Betts. So first of all, Councilwoman O'Brien, why is this beneficial for the city to be able to redevelop a mall like this and turn it into something very useful?
Well, this used to be the crown jewel of Phoenix. It's such an economic driver, and it will bring back all of that economy and community and memory making to the community.
And what have you heard from people as far as, I imagine it's nostalgic. I feel like I grew up with some malls too where it's like, oh, I'm going to miss it. But at the same time, it's not serving the community the way that it used to.
Absolutely. We had a fond farewell party in 2023, but I will tell you the community, the businesses, the families, they are ready for it to come down and for us to have the next stage for this area.
All right. And then Steve, tell us a little bit more about what's going to happen today.
Today, the sun is coming up on a new urban village for Metro Center. I think that we have an opportunity to do what I think a lot of the community really wanted this to be, which is a residential village around an urban core of retail and exciting kind of entertainment uses.
And then what exactly is this all going to look like? I mean, it's going to take a while. It's going to be a process, of course.
Unfortunately, it's going to take about a year to finish the demolition and the abatement process and just to get the grading done and all that. Then another year to put in the horizontal infrastructure and community amenities. And then another year past that before the vertical improvements get done. So we're in a 3 to 4 year process.
Hey, 3 to 4 years, and then we'll have a brand new or several buildings rather, a whole new community out here. All right, and as far as what's going to happen today, so Dillard's is going to be the first spot to go, correct?
Correct. We've been doing work all this summer really inside the building. People didn't see it, but we were doing the abatement process and some demolition interior. Today we get to see it coming down exterior.
All right. And then Councilwoman O'Brien, I imagine you're going to be here too. How excited are you to see this redevelopment and to see this change here in the city?
Oh, I'm incredibly excited. This has been years in the making. I'm so thankful to the team who's persevered and is helping us to make this happen.
And then what's the next step after Dillard's? Do you know what the next step is after that?
Yes, we'll just keep moving to the south. It's just going to be in series going down.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Again, it's noon today. Now, if people want to come watch, can they watch?
They can watch a little bit from the exterior, but yes.
Okay, so they watch from the exterior if they want to kind of just safely watch from the exterior. I feel like that's something people are going to want to see, or maybe they can just hear it, right?
Yeah. Right.
All right. What's going to happen at noon today? We'll send it back to you guys for now.
There's a lot of people who remember Metro Center was popping.
And I remember when we had Councilwoman Ann here in studio, she said she used to work there.
I know, and she said she's a loyal viewer of AZAM.
Oh, well.
Councilwoman Ann, thank you.
Morning.
All right, well, the holiday season, Irene, thank you, is here, and a simple and unique way to help spread kindness returns to the Valley.
This is such a cool thing. It's called the Giving Machine, and they are back. The Giving Machines allow users to pick a charity and the product that they want to be donated. There are more than a dozen local, national, and international organizations to choose from. The campaign is part of the hashtag Light the World campaign. It was started by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints back in 2017. The effort has raised so far, get this, $32 million to date, with Arizonans contributing more than $5 million of that total. A machine was set up in Glendale at the Westgate Entertainment District over the weekend. Another will open today in Gilbert.